Hello all, and welcome to Explained with Dylan. The Republican Party in the United States is slowly tearing themselves apart. They're just ripping themselves apart, and we are looking at something we have not seen for centuries. This is all in relation to the fact that Kevin McCarthy, a Republican House Speaker, was voted out by other Republicans due to the fact that he worked with Democrats to get his financing bill through to avoid a government shutdown. Just the fact that he worked with Democrats. Now, don't get me wrong, he worked with some Republicans as well. But given that not all of them agreed with him, and some of the Democrats did agree with him, then the Republicans decided to vote him out and remove him as the House Speaker. This is crazy in my mind. The fact that you would remove someone in charge of your own party just because he got things done despite working with the other side seems ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. The biggest thing with Kevin McCarthy, we could all see it coming, due to the fact it took them 12 votes to finally get him in as the proper House Speaker. Because there are so many Republican extremists that are voting for other guys. They think Kevin McCarthy is far too moderate for them. They want an extremist. They want someone like people that are currently trying to run for the Republican nomination for president, such as Donald Trump. They want their DeSantis. They want their Donald Trump in the House. And Kevin McCarthy isn't that. Sure, he's Republican, yes. He is nowhere close to being a Democrat. He shares views with the moderate Republicans, but he's not an extremist. He's not the most right-wing person you will find. He's not a liar. He's a pretty normal guy. He's someone I can personally respect. And the Republicans decide they don't want someone like that in charge. They want an extremist. They want someone that's probably going to be mentally ill. So they voted him out. This is happening more and more frequently with the Republican Party in the States. People are getting kicked out because they're not extreme enough. This party is dividing into two because of the fact that you have guys that are normal. People from the George Bush era when things were more normal. Sure, the Republicans were more right-wing, but they weren't extreme right-wing. They were just moderate. And now, I'm not going to say the majority, but the loudest voices are all extremists. Which means that they want to get their way, and they're going to continue to do that. Which means that moderate Republicans, people that normal people might want to vote for, are getting kicked out of office and only leaving the extremists. The Republicans have actually made themselves more likable by doing this to the extremist population. Because that's what they want. They want extremists all over. They want people that, yeah, they're anti-everything. They're anti-LGBT. They're anti-race. They want only white males in charge. Amongst many other things. They're anti-vaxxers. They're probably flat earthers, some of them, whatever it is. The problem is, this alienates them even more for people that vote Republican, maybe just for fiscal reasons, or whatever it is. But now they're less and less likely to vote Republican due to the fact that the entire party is going extremist. There's no one major in that party anymore. No one currently running for president that you'd say, okay, this person is fiscally conservative, and sure, they're a bit conservative on immigration. But overall, they're pretty normal. They're not that extreme. They're just a moderate person. No one is like that anymore. Which means that it's getting tougher and tougher for the moderate American population to vote for the Republicans. And that's where it comes to now, where I was saying that we could potentially see something that hasn't happened in hundreds of years. You see, originally, then there were no presidential parties. It was just a group of people running for president. Some people had different reasonings. Some people had different political opinions. But they were all just the government in general. Then slowly divisions started to come between them. And then there evolved to be two parties. But then one of the parties got too extreme and crumbled. It just collapsed in on itself and broke apart. In which case, the other party ended up splitting into two parties as the main remaining party. That happened multiple times until we finally settled into the Republican and Democrat parties. And that may be starting to happen again now. I'm not saying it's going to happen immediately in the next 10, 20 years, but slowly, bit by bit, the Republicans are tearing themselves apart. And it's only a matter of time till they are losing more and more votes to the Democrats. And heck, maybe some of the more moderate Republicans start to vote for the Democrats. Maybe they start to be Democrat. In which case, the Republican Party could honestly fall. And then, that's where the Democrat Party breaks in two once again. And then, you've got the slightly more right-wing Democrats versus the more left-wing Democrats as two new parties. Like I said, that's not going to happen anytime in the next 10 years. But, bit by bit, this is exactly what happened in the past. And it could very well happen again, just because of how extreme the Republicans have gotten. And that is the biggest problem in the US. There is no moderate party anymore, because the Democrats have gotten more extreme as well, on the left-wing side. Now, they're not as extreme as the extremist Republicans, but there are still extremist Democrats, and less moderates in the government anymore, which makes it more and more difficult to have anyone normal to vote for. It's dividing America even more, which is quite an issue, because you really don't want to have a massive country divided. We saw what happened last time America was very divided. And that is not going to happen again. There is not going to be another civil war. But tensions are definitely rising, and we will have to see what happens. But for now, thanks for watching, and I will see you guys again soon.